I have recently purchased some new parts for my lathe, one of which is a new upgrade part. And to get started, I'm just going to remove the tailstock and I'll clean those up and get them ready for the new parts. So if you've had your lathe or wood lathe for a long time, upgrading your parts or refreshing your lathe is actually a really good way to improve your lathe performance. And here is some of the products that I'm going to use during this video. I'd also like to mention that this is a PSI lathe, a Penn State Industries lathe, and I really like this lathe. I've had it for many years and it has held up well. It's just time to replace some of the parts, refresh it, make it like new, because I've used and abused this and a lot of the parts are worn. And as I'm taking each part apart, I'm doing a thorough cleaning and a lubrication. And here I'm using a synthetic grease. And this cam lock was one of the parts that I replaced. It was a cam floater with the locking washer, and it was actually completely bent and all the threads were worn off, so I've replaced that, and now my tailstock doesn't slip at all and slides really nice. It's like brand new. For safety, make sure you unplug the power to your lathe before any maintenance. So I started out using a rubber mallet to remove the spindle, and I realized that one of the other parts that I'm replacing is my spindle. It's really worn out. I've used various vice grips and things on it, and I have scratched it, and it doesn't run as true as it used to. So I decided to just switch over to a regular sledgehammer, and that sped up the process. However, make sure you don't care about your old spindle and you're not going to reuse it if you're going to use the sledgehammer, because it really did do damage to the end of it. And here is the upgrade part. I'm replacing this plastic indexing gear with a steel gear. And this is also the spindle lock. And whenever you take your headstock apart, it's a great idea to grease the bearings. Here you can see the new spindle versus the old one, and the old one is pretty boogered up. The new spindle also has these added holes for my knockout bar to help remove stuck chucks or accessories, which is a nice improvement. Lastly, I'd like to show you a modification that I did a few years back that basically eliminates the belt change on this lathe. Most importantly, for safety, unplug the power to your lathe. Then I'll take off the control box and gain access to the inside. Please try and use electrician screwdrivers that have a voltage rating on them to have some added protection. And when you're in the open control box or on your lathe and the power's on and you're adjusting the speed, don't touch anything else but what you need to touch. Inside you'll find 3 Moffett screws or trimmers. One is an L, the other one is an H, and the other one on the bottom, which you really can't see here, is labeled as an F. And you don't really need to use that one at all. You'll want to use the L for low end and the H for high end. Then by adjusting these 2 screws with an appropriate screwdriver, you'll be able to set L to the low speed and set the H to the high speed. All that's left is to put everything back together. So I do hope you found some value in this short video. And if you have an older lathe with worn parts, or you just want to enhance your current lathe, replacing and or upgrading your parts is a really good place to start. So if you have like tail creep, so if you have some tail creep, tailstock creep, this may be an option to replace the cam follower, and it may just make your tailstock like brand new. Another tremendous difference is once I replaced this spindle, I have absolutely zero vibration on my lathe. I'd also like to mention two possible cons. The first con is possible void of your warranty. You should check with your manufacturer and make sure that before you do any modifications that you're not going to void your warranty. The second possible con to the speed modification that I did on my lathe is the torque. By having the belt only on the high range, I will lose quite a bit of torque on any of the speeds in the low range. Is fine for me because I usually only do sanding at around 400 or 500 or applying CA finish. I can still switch the belt over to the lower range and have that torque for a larger piece. It's just that the speed display is not going to be very accurate because it's adjusted to the other belt. So I hope you stuck around to the very end. If so, thank you very much, and thank you to any new subscribers for subscribing. I hope you enjoy my channel and my videos. I do try to get out videos as best I can, but as always, stay safe in your shop at all times and take care. Thank you.